Very good evening to all of you. Welcome you all on our YouTube channel, The Learning Garden. I'm Dr. Manju. In a today video, we will discuss about human circulatory system. So first, we should know about what is the circulation. Circulation means movement of something from one point to different points or from one point to another point. We all know all the living organisms need food, water, and oxygen for being survival. But they all need to transport from one part of body to different parts of the body. Animals need to transport waste materials also where they are generated and to the body parts where they can be removed out of the body. But are you wondered how all this is achieved? See this figure. Here you can see the heart and the blood vessels. This heart and blood vessels together functions to transport the substances and form the circulatory system. So here in this video, all these diagrams are taken from http www.bing.com search. So when we are talking about human circulatory system, so first point is to know about the blood. What is blood? To know what is blood, first you have to think what happened when you get a cut on your body. What happened? Blood will flow out. So first question that will come in mind is what is blood? Blood is a fluid that flow in blood vessels. Here you can see this is the heart associated with different blood vessels, or we can say this is the network of the blood vessels that is spread to the whole body. So if we talk about blood, blood is a fluid which flow in different blood vessels. It transports the substances like digested food from small intestine to other parts of the body. It carries oxygen from lungs to the cells of the body. It transports waste for removal from the body. We all know we are getting energy from the food, but how we are getting this energy? We know we digest the food in the form of glucose, and this glucose react with oxygen that we inhale during our respiration process. So inside the body cell, this glucose and oxygen react and they form the carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So this is the energy that we are getting from the food that is used in our different life processes performing. So here carbon dioxide is the waste that we have to remove from the body. So this is about the blood. Now can you think how does this blood carry various substances? How this blood transport various substances? Do you know the blood is composed of a fluid called plasma in which different types of the cells are suspended. These different types of the cells helps in transportation of various substances. If we talk about types of the cells, these are red blood cells, RBC, white blood cells, WBC, and platelets. Now, Bujo is asking a question, why is the color of the blood is red? So, to know this question, we discuss about the type of the red blood cells which are present in our blood. Red blood cells are the type of the cells which are present in our blood plasma, and they contain a red pigment called hemoglobin, and due to this red pigment hemoglobin, blood appears red. And what how this hemoglobin help us? This hemoglobin binds with oxygen and transport it to all parts of the body, and we can say ultimately to all cells of the body. If there is no hemoglobin, then it will be very difficult to provide oxygen efficiently to all cells of the body. Another types of the blood cells which are present in our blood plasma are white blood cells. These white blood cells provide us power, provide us strength to fight against germs, to fight against disease, to fight against bacteria which may enter our body. Now, next blood cells present in our blood plasma are the platelets. So, how one can know about platelets? Here, Bujo fell down while playing a game and his knee got injured. After injury, blood was coming out from the cut, and after some time, he noticed that bleeding had stopped and a dark red clot had plugged the cut. So, what is how this plug, red clot plug is formed? Bujo was puzzled about this. This clot is formed because of the presence of the platelets. Next part in the human circulatory system is blood vessels. If we talk about blood vessels, mainly two types of the blood vessels are present in the body, and these are arteries and veins. During inhalation, a fresh supply of oxygen fills the lungs, and oxygen has to be transported to rest of the body to carry out that chemical reaction that gives us energy. Here we can see, because in the lungs, when there is a fresh supply of oxygen, this oxygen rich blood will come to the heart by the pulmonary veins. Veins are the blood vessels which are bringing blood to the heart, and these uh, oxygenated rich blood is supplied to different parts of the body where the chemical reactions occur and release carbon dioxides, and then blood become rich in carbon dioxides. This carbon dioxide rich blood is back supplied to the heart by this vena cava. This is inferior vena cava, this is superior vena cava. So as we have discussed, veins are the blood vessels which are bringing blood to the heart from different body parts. So, from the heart, this carbon dioxide rich blood is supplied back to the lungs so that this carbon dioxides can be removed from the body. So, these are the artery which are carrying blood from the heart. Arteries are the blood vessels which are carrying blood from heart to different body parts. So, these are the arteries which are known as pulmonary artery, which are carrying carbon dioxide rich bloods from heart to the lungs. So in lungs again, here there will be the exchange of the gases. So CO2 will be removed out from the body. Here, so two types of the blood vessels we have studied here are the arteries and the veins. We talk about arteries. Arteries carry oxygen rich blood from heart to all parts of the body. Or we can say arteries are the blood vessels which are supplying blood from heart to different body parts. But if we are talking about blood vessels which are carrying blood from heart to all body parts and oxygen rich blood, then these are the artery. Since the blood flow is from the heart to different body parts is at a high pressure because heart is pumping the blood, so these arteries have thick elastic walls so that they can be prevented to being fractured. So here this is a figure. This is showing your pulse in the wrist. If you want to measure the flow of heart in your arteries, then you can measure your pulse in the wrist. So first we understand, place the middle and index finger of your right hand on the inner side of your left wrist. Can you feel some throbbing movement? Why do you think there is throbbing? Throbbing is called the pulse, and it is due to the blood flowing in the arteries. Blood flowing in the arteries from the heart. Heart is pumping the blood to the arteries. So, this is due to the blood flowing in the arteries. Now, you can count the number of pulse beats in 1 minute. How many pulse beats could you count? And first, you should know what is the pulse rate. The number of beats per minute is called the pulse rate. Number of beats per minute is called the pulse rate. In a resting person, usually pulse rate is between 70 to 80 beats per minute. Now discuss about another type of the blood vessels which are the veins. Veins are the vessels which carry carbon dioxide rich bloods from different parts of the body back to the heart. The, because these veins are carrying blood from body cells, so there is not much high pressure. That's why they have thin wall. There are the valves present in the veins which allow the blood to flow only towards the heart, or we can say only in one direction. This is the schematic diagram of the circulation. Here we can see this is the heart, this is the artery which are bringing blood from heart to different body parts. Then in the body cells there will be chemical reaction occur, and there will be the release of carbon dioxide. Then veins will supply this carbon dioxide rich blood back to the heart. Now, from the heart, this carbon dioxide rich blood will be supplied to the lungs. Here we can see this is the pulmonary artery which is carrying carbon dioxide rich blood. So, here Buju is confused. Buju is thinking, I have learned that an artery always carry oxygen rich blood. So here, Haley explained that the pulmonary artery is carrying the blood from heart. So the blood vessels which are carrying blood from heart to different body parts, these are called artery and not a vein. But when blood is going to lungs from the heart, then this pulmonary artery, is carrying carbon dioxide rich blood. And if we talk about pulmonary veins carry oxygen rich blood because this is bringing blood from lungs to the heart. And we know in lungs during inhalation, fresh supply of oxygen is there. So this is the vein that is bringing blood from lungs to the heart, from lungs to the hearts. That's why this is bringing oxygen rich blood. Now come to the capillaries part. Capillaries, can you see here these arteries which are bringing from the heart, they are divided into smaller vessels. They are divided into extremely thin tubes called the capillaries. Here you can see this is the aorta that is divided into different artery, and these arteries to the body tissue, they are divided further into extremely thin tubes. Here you can see in upper body part, lower body part, and here in lungs also you can see. So these are the capillaries. These capillaries, they join to form the veins which empty into the heart. So this is about capillaries. Now, the most important part of the human circulatory system is heart. Heart is an organ which beats continuously to act as a pump for the transport of the blood, which carries other substances like food, like oxygen, carbon dioxide along with it. Here you can see how the heart is pumping continuously. Human heart works like a non-stop pump throughout the life. So let's learn about the heart. Heart is located in the chest cavity with its lower tip slightly tilted toward the left side. If you hold your finger with your palm and make a fist, your heart is roughly the size of your fist. Here, Buju has a question in his mind. What will happen if the blood rich in oxygen and the blood rich in carbon dioxide mix with each other? So, answer is simple, because we need energy to perform different life processes, and we are getting this energy when our food react with oxygen. When there is a mixing of oxygen and CO2, then the reaction will not efficiently complete, and we are not getting energy efficiently from the food that we are taking, because the amount of the required oxygen will decrease by the presence of carbon dioxide. So, to avoid this problem, the God has created four chambers in our heart. Here we can see the diagram of the human heart. The heart has four chambers. The upper chambers are called atria. Here we can see this is left atrium, this is right atrium, this is left ventricle, this is right ventricle, and partition between these chambers help to avoid the mixing of the oxygen rich blood with that of the blood that is rich in carbon dioxides. To understand the functioning of the circulatory system, here we are starting from the right side of the heart. Here we can see this is the right atrium that is getting blood from superior vena cava and from inferior vena cava. Because this blood is coming from different body parts, so this is the carbon dioxide rich blood. Here blood is pumped to from right atrium to right ventricle, then from right ventricle, because this is CO2 rich blood, so we have to remove this CO2, and we know where the gases exchange will occur. This exchange of gases will take place in the lungs. So this CO2 rich blood will be supplied to the lungs by the pulmonary arteries. Here we can see this is the left pulmonary artery will carry blood to left lungs, and this is the right pulmonary artery will supply bloods to right lungs. In the lungs, exchange of gases will take place. Then oxygen rich blood will be supplied from lungs to the heart by the pulmonary vein. Here we can see this is the right pulmonary vein and this is the left pulmonary veins. These are bringing oxygen rich blood to this left atrium, and then left atrium will supply this blood to left ventricle, and from left ventricle this oxygen rich blood is supplied to different parts of the body. So here this is the aorta that is divided into different branches. We can say artery. So this oxygen rich blood is supplied to different parts, different cells of the body, and we know in different cells again the chemical reaction that we have remembered, that glucose that we have obtained from the food that we have taken, and that glucose react with oxygen, release carbon dioxides. Again that carbon dioxides will be bringing to the heart by the vena cava, or we can say veins. So this is about the circulations of the blood in the human heart. Now come to the last section of this part, that is heartbeat. We know the wall of the chambers of the heart are made up of the cardiac muscles, and these cardiac muscles contract and relax rhythmically. Here we can see when the blood will come to this left atrium, this left ventricle is in relaxing position. Here left atrium then contract to transport the blood to this left ventricle. So after that, left atrium will relax and this left ventricle will contract to transport blood to the aorta to supply to different body parts. And similarly, this right atrium will receive the bloods from different body parts. So it will supply to right ventricle. When right atrium contract, the blood will be transported to right ventricle, and this is carbon dioxide rich blood. Then from right ventricle contract and transported this blood to the lungs. So here we can see there is a continuous rhythmically contractions and relaxations of these heart chambers, or we can say muscles, because this heart is made up of cardiac muscles. So this continuous contractions and relaxation, they constitute a heartbeat. Heartbeat continue every moment of our life. If you place your hand on the left side of your chest, you can feel your heartbeat. Doctor measures the heartbeat with the help of an instrument called a stethoscope. Here you can see this stethoscope. You have seen using doctor are using this kind of the instrument that is called stethoscope, that is used to measure the heartbeat. So this is all about this video. Thanks for watching the video. Jai Hind.